Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes to allow all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with today's session. I hope that will be all right with everyone. In the meantime, as we are waiting for everyone to join in and settle down, we'll use this time to discuss a few quite important and crucial points. The first one being related to this webinar itself, and that is how we are going to get the maximum benefit from this webinar. You're taking out your valuable time and you're participating in this webinar, then certainly you must be wanting to utilize this time to the maximum benefit. How can you do that? So that can be done by ensuring a active participation. And that is something which you can do by getting all your doubts, all your questions answered by the panelists who are available here today. How can you do that? So you can do that in two ways. One is Q&A. So Q&A is something that we are going to use for question and answer. So if there's anything which is not clear to you, you want us to elaborate it on further, or if there's anything else that you want us to answer, want us to provide you an input on. So for that, you can use the Q&A option, right? So it is down below. And then we also have the chat. So chat is something that we are going to use for our interaction. That is me interacting with you or the panelists interacting with you, and also for networking with wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today, right? So God knows you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in this session also. And it has happened in the past as well, wherein two business owners who were joining this session, they were able to connect and network and even crack a deal in this session. So you can also use the chat for that. All right. So Q&A for questions and chat for our interaction. So there will be points, or there will be sections where I will need your inputs. I will need your suggestions, or I would need or I would want to understand what do you think about those topics. What is your understanding? What is your imagination of those? So for that, I will uh, also be needing your inputs, and you can provide your inputs through chat. So again, very quickly, for questions, Q&A, for interaction. So ideally, you should not be putting your questions in the chat. Why so? Because you can already see there's a lot of exchange happening in the chat, and there is a possibility, there is a chance that your question might get lost, which will not be a very nice thing. So that is where add your question in the Q&A. Now, towards the end of the session, we'll dedicate 10-15 minutes. That's where we will answer all your questions. So ideally, what I'll do is I'll place the Q&A box on the other monitor, and I'll keep peeking into it. So if there's a question which I can answer immediately, I will certainly do that. But if it is not possible for me or us to answer that question right away, so in that case, we'll take that questions towards the end, where we'll break into the question answer round. All right. So there's one interesting chat I can read. And one of the participant is mentioning about me talking in English. So actually, there are different sessions that we do in Hindi and English, and obviously we have participants from various part of the country, and everyone is not comfortable with Hindi. So that's why we are not doing this particular session in Hindi. However, in future we will plan a session in Hindi, and you can certainly participate into that. Or if there's anything which is not clear to you, in that case, you can connect with me and I'll guide you on a personal level. All right, that should help. Perfect. So I think we have waited enough, and this is where we should get started. So I'm going to start with my introduction. My name is Adnan. I'm Director SME Commerce Growth at Global Inker. And as the designation suggests, my functional role at Global Inker is digital commerce. But in addition to that, I also actively work on sharing with business owners on how they can use digital technology to grow their business in the new normal. And as part of that endeavor, I conduct a lot of training workshops and webinars, and I had conducted nearly 500 of such sessions over the years, and had the wonderful opportunity of connecting, networking, and interacting with more than 12,000 businesses in various countries. So that was a quick introduction about myself. We are also joined here by officials from FIO. I'll request Mr. Prateek if you can share a brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Adnan, and welcome to everyone on today's sessions on how to connect with the foreign buyers through the Indian Business Portal. My name is Prateek Navle, and I look after the Indian Business Portal and Indian Trade Portal here. Uh, Indian Business Portal is basically a uniform platform for an all kind of an exporters who wanted to showcase their business to the global audience. So the point is, when we are talking about an exporters who has an import export code, they can showcase their business on Indian Business Portal. However, if they don't have any IC code, then they can also start selling through our platform domestically also, but they could not be a part of an Indian business route. Uh, I would like to emphasize on that we are working hard in terms of bringing the buyers on this platform. We have some buyers which are registered on Indian Business Portal. Definitely, that is not accessible for the sellers, but we are working on that, and we are working with them to understand their requirement in detail. We are receiving so many of query, out of which we basically sort out, filter some queries which are the genuine one from all our aspects. Whoever is having a clear intention that what kind of a product they want to buy from India, we are allowing them to be a part of this Indian Business Portal queries. So on Indian Business Portal, there are two things. One, where the exporters are showcasing their businesses, foreign buyers are coming on that particular platform and putting their orders with the exporters, or some foreign buyers, they are coming to the FIEO and they are basically asking FIEO to send that query to all the exporters who are registered on this particular platform. If you are a member of FIO or let's say FIO Global Linker community, I think whenever the leads coming to that particular Indian Business Portal, all queries are basically shared with all our members. So if you are a part of FIO or you are a part of FIO Global Linker, and if you are not receiving this mail, I would suggest please check in your spam. Please check that whether the queries are receiving or not. If the query is published on Indian Business Portal, but if it is not received to you by your email, please inform us or the, let's say, Adnan about that. Secondly, I would like to also bring all the participants' attentions that recently we have sent an email to all the exporters and the FIO Global Linker community member that if you are a platform player and if you are not active for last 365 days, then your store or your data may be deleted. So I want to give a clarity about that we don't want to the inactive stores to be a part of an Indian Business Portal, because we wanted to maintain the quality, because it has been reported by many foreign buyers that they are contacting to the Indian exporters, but the Indian exporters are not responding. That's why we have sent in instructions to all our member to please go and let's say log in with your account, so we will understand that you're active on our platform. So gradually we are going to delete these the stores data from our platform if you are not active from last 365 days. So if you haven't query, you can always feel free to write us, but I would just request to everyone that do and go sign in your on FIO Global Linker, so we will understand that you are active on this platform. And nothing to worry, we are there, but the point is, if you're not active on the platform, we would go ahead and we will delete your data from the store. So I would request Adnan to basically take us through that, how to connect with the foreign buyers. And after that, we will answer all the inquiries. Thank you.
Hi, Prateek. That was a wonderful brief for the exporters who are joining us here today. All right, so this is where we'll get started. Now I am going to start sharing my screen and I'll walk you through how to connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. All right, so just give me a few seconds to do that and then we'll get started. So I have so many tabs open, so I can also keep confusing which one should I present to you. So just give me a few more seconds. All right. My screen share is getting started and I will highlight this toolbar so that it does not obstruct your view. So I hope my screen is visible. I'll really appreciate if few of the participants or anyone from the audience can confirm that you're able to see my screen. So I have the chat open so I can see. Yeah. So thank you everyone for confirming that you're able to see my screen. Now, what you're seeing on the screen is basically an ecosystem that I've drawn crudely to help you understand how to connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. All right. So this is the ecosystem I'm going to walk you through. So this is your business. I'll just highlight it for your reference. This is your business. Now you will be joining Indian Business Portal. Now to join Indian Business Portal, what are you expected to do? So you are expected to create something called a digital catalog. What is digital catalog? And I'll also show you an example. So don't worry on that. Don't feel like what is digital catalog? What is he expecting us to create? Don't worry on that. So you have to create something called digital catalog. Now, once you have created your digital catalog, it is then linked to Indian Business Portal. So that is the process of joining Indian Business Portal. Now comes the question, why you are here, how to connect with international buyers. Now for that, you will be bringing in international buyers. They'll be putting in effort through various initiatives and those international buyers. So here, this purple color arrow, it denotes international buyers coming to Indian Business Portal. So they'll be coming to Indian Business Portal and they will be reviewing your offering. And from there, you can do business with them. So that is one channel that you can leverage or optimize for growing your business digitally, right? That is one channel. The second channel is here. So through your digital catalog, also you can do online marketing or promotions or online advertising, whatever term you would like to call it. Through that, you will also be able to bring. So this orange arrow, I'm just highlighting it. It denotes international buyers coming to your digital catalog. So you're not sending them to Indian Business Portal, you're bringing them to your own digital catalog, and that's where you're doing business with them. So that is the second channel. The third channel is here, which is this community. So when you're joining in this Indian Business Portal, that is where you are also parallelly becoming part of a community, right? So this is one process, and this is where parallelly you are also becoming part of a community. Now that community has or happens to have members from 150 countries. 150 countries, the participants or the members are there. Now through business networking, which I've highlighted here in this brown color arrow. So through business networking, so similar to how we do social networking on Facebook or do professional networking on LinkedIn, similar to that, you can do business networking. So how it is different from professional networking that we do on LinkedIn, the difference is the audiences where you are connecting or networking with business owners. So you can send them a connection request. If they accept, then you can connect with them. You can share information about your business, your product offering. And if they're interested to do business with you, you can take the discussion forward, right? So this is the entire ecosystem. And I hope everyone at least has a bird eye view in terms of what does the entire ecosystem brings on the platter. So we have a bird's eye view or a macro view, like this is how it is going to help your business. Now, how does it actually works? Let's also have a look at it. So this is where I'm going to switch my screen and we will now go to Indian Business Portal. So just give me a quick second to bring you to Indian Business Portal. So this is Indian Business Portal. And as Prateek also mentioned, there are two separate processes which you can or through which foreign buyers will be connecting with you on Indian Business Portal. Now, if you are wondering that I've straight away jumped on to help you understand how international buyers will be connecting with you, what about that process which I showed you if I quickly switch my screen? So I haven't touched on this process, right? So I straight away jumped here. why have I not done that? So because the agenda is how foreign buyers are connecting with Indian exporters on Indian business portal, right? So we'll stray true to the agenda, and I will also touch on that, right? So don't worry or don't think that he has skipped that. Don't worry on that. We'll also touch on that a little later, but let's stay on the main agenda or the main item for the discussion, how foreign buyers are going to connect with you or do business with you on Indian business portal, right? So what you're seeing on your screen is Indian Business Portal, which is a joint initiative between FIO and GlobalInker. FIO is a government entity. It is a apex export promotion body by the government of India, and GlobalInker is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. That's a short description. For the benefit of time, I'm not going to into elaborate detail about the platform. Now, there are two processes which are used by international buyers to connect with Indian exporter. All right, I'm just going to repeat that sentence. There are two processes which are used by international buyers to connect with Indian exporters on Indian business portal. What are those two processes? The first process is wherein they are either coming to Indian business portal, and this is where you can see there is this option. I'm just highlighting it, post buying requirement. So using this process, they are sharing their requirement. This is what we are interested in. This is what we want to import from India. Or they are directly approaching FIO and sharing their requirement that this is what we want to import from India. Now, those requirements are displayed here. So if I scroll down here, this is where you can see the requirements are displayed. Now, you might be wondering, like, there are only just two requirements here. No, there are more. Actually, I'm going to click on view all, and it will take us to the RFQ page. This is where you can see. So there are a number of, there's a very long list of the closed RFQ. These are the active RFQs which are here. Now, what are you expected to do here? So for example, if you're a rubber mattress for horses or metal pieces for steel galvanized, if you're an exporter and you are interested in this particular lead, which is displayed on Indian Business Portal, then all you have to do is to click on this button, click here, and it will take you to another page. On this page, firstly, before you start doing anything, read this requirement clearly. Right? I've also shared the reference. Review that. Once you are absolutely sure, once you are absolutely certain that is a requirement I would love to fulfill or I can fulfill, then you should proceed ahead. And that's where I'm just going to walk you through the fields. You may think that this is not that important. Why is he? Just to give you a comfort that it is firstly quite easy to do. Second is there are few issues that we have noticed in the past, few areas where there is a potential for improvement, and we want to share our suggestions. So that's why I am just going to quickly take you through the fields, right? So don't think that he's wasting our time. So the first one is email, company name, mobile number, and then please provide your IC code, then whether you're a manufacturer or merchant, and then whether you're an MSME or not. If you're an MSME, add your certificate, your IC codes certificate, and then if you are a FIO registered member or a member of a export promotion council or body, then upload your certificate. Are you listed on Indian Business Portal? If yes, then input the link of your digital catalog. And then do you have experience of exporting metal pieces in steel galvanized? If yes, explain the brief about your experience. Now, this is the point where I wanted to share with you that there is a potential for improvement. What we have seen in the past is that many times exporters, what they are doing, they are just coming here and they are typing, yes, we have experience. That's it. We have experience. But even in the question, you can see it is written that briefly you have to explain about your experience. Because understand, there is an international buyer like you, human being, and there are many, many exporters submitting the requisition. That person has to take a decision. Now, if you're not giving him or her a reason to choose you, why will they choose you? You have to give a reason. Why should they choose you? And the reason, this is the place to add that reason, right? You should add information like what is your experience, or if there is some reference or something that you have done, add that experience here, right? So objective is to impress the international buyer in a way that they should choose you, right? So this is the place you should not miss out on. Now, whether you have an experience of exporting in France, and the last question is, tell us about your capabilities of exporting metal pieces. There's the second place that you have to give that reason to international buyer to choose you, right? I hope I'm clear to everyone that instead of typing yes or one word or few words here, that yes, we have an experience, add more details, give more content, give more reasons for the international buyers to choose you, and you have two wonderful places to do that. Utilize them, use them, so that at the end of the day, when the international buyer is reviewing all those requisitions, they can understand more about your business, they can understand more about you, and they feel tempted to choose you over others, right? So that's what you're expected to do. So this is one method which is there, right? This is one method which is there, and you should utilize this. Now, if you are part of Indian Business Portal, you'll certainly get an update whenever there's a new requisition which is coming. Otherwise, you can just come here and you can review the requisitions. But I would suggest that you should also become part of Indian Business Portal, because in that case, you become visible in the second process. In addition to that, there is a change which is going to happen soon. And that change is these leads which you are seeing here, or these RFQs which you are seeing here, they'll continue to remain visible. It is not like they'll become invisible, but in future, only the participants or the members who are, or the exporters in much more simpler words, or the exporters which are associated with Indian Business Portal, only those will be able to submit the requisition. So I think it is high time, or it makes sense to join Indian Business Portal, because this is where you can see on your screen itself, the opportunity is there. All right. So that is one process which is there, through which international buyers can connect with you on Indian Business Portal. This is one method. The second method is wherein international buyers are going through the navigation and they are looking out for exporters from India. How are they doing that? So they can do that through the navigation. So this is where you can see there's a very elaborate navigation, or they can do that through the search, right? So they can go to the search, and through that they can search for the required product. Now, once they have identified you that you are a seller and you have that product, so in that case, they can review your details and then they can connect with you. How does that happen? So I've opened few profiles here just to help you understand that. So this is where these are exporters, and I've just opened their profiles here for you to review. So just imagine this is one exporter, and as an importer, we came across their profile and we are interested to source product from them. Now, approach them, before I actually approach them, there is obviously a requirement for due diligence. This certain level of, I may not hire an agency to do the due diligence, but a certain level of fact finding is something that everyone does, right? So how can they do that, or how can we make it easier for them? So that is where that is the reason why I'm showing the profile to you. So this is where you can see all the products which are there from this particular exporter. Now here there is also a about us section which is here. I'm just going to open that, and this is where you can see there is some information that they have added about their business, and down below there's more information about their business. So this is where the importer can review this information, or the international buyer can review this information, and they can understand more about this business. Now, in addition to that, they have also added their certificates. I'm going to show you. So there are a number of certificates they have added to their profile. So they can review those certificates, and they can be double, triple sure that it is a genuine and a trustworthy business, right? They have done that. Now, in addition to that, here you can see it is a visit store. So they can click on it and they will be redirected to the online store of the exporter. And here they can review the further collection, or they can review more about that business. And if they are interested to connect with them, they can also do that. So I'm going to just open the contactors page. This is where you can see their contact information is displayed. So they can also connect with them from their online store. Now, coming back to the question or the second process, which is there, this is where I was just highlighting few of the USPs, but more importantly, from a perspective that when you are doing this, please ensure that you're adding information here. For example, I've seen a lot of exporters don't add these certificates. Now, this is where when you're not giving reasons, this is where you have to basically give reasons to the international buyer to choose you over others. If you're, and this is not just an exporter, an Indian exporter, this is where you're also competing with other countries. So you have to give that reason. So for that, add all the required documentation, add as much information as possible in the about section, and also the product content should be added appropriately, right? Now, in today's day and age, there's nothing left called too technical, right? You have almost every piece of information available on the internet. It is just a Google search away. In addition to that, in today's day and age, thankfully, you have AI tools, right? So a lot of complex tasks which require specialized knowledge earlier is something that you can do very, very easily by just giving a command to an AI tool, right? So that's where I don't think there is any barrier which is preventing any Indian business or Indian exporter from creating a world-class information or creating a world-class digital catalog or creating their information properly, if I have to say it in a much simpler way. So add this information. I was just showing you all these places to highlight to you that these are the places where you have to also add the information and you have to add them properly. That's where you'll improve your perspectives of getting leads or inquiries. All right. So that is one. Now coming back to the topic, and that was how will they connect with you? So the one process which we saw, which was here, wherein they were expressing that this is what we are wanting to import from India. If you happen to be an exporter, please submit your requisition. So this is one thing. The second is where they are coming actually to your profile. This is where they will be connecting with you. So this is where they have found you that this looks like a good exporter from India. Let's connect with them. How will they connect with you? So there are multiple methods which are available. The first one is this one, which is request meeting. This is a very popular method, by the way, these days. This is where they will schedule an online meeting with you, similar to how we are meeting here today. So similar to that, they'll schedule an online meeting with you and they will explain their requirement in a better way. You will explain your offerings in a better way, and then you can take the discussion forward, right? So that is one method. The second method is right here, contact seller. So instead of request meeting, if they use contact seller, in that case, you will receive an email from Indian Business Portal that you have received a contact requirement, and that's where you'll get the contact number of the international buyer, and you can call them or connect with them over the email. So that is the second process. The third one is obviously they can, and they will be visiting your online stores. Once they have visited your online store, they can easily go to contact us, and that's where they can connect with you on the phone number or email ID that you have added here. So these are the two methods, or these are the two processes using which international buyers can connect with you on Indian Business Portal. All right. So I hope the two processes are clear. If there's anything which is not clear, please add in the Q&A. I can see there are already quite a bit of questions in the Q&A. So I can see there are a few participants who are interested to understand how to join Indian Business Portal. So that is exactly what I'm going to explain now. So now we are moving into the second chapter in our discussion, and that's where I am now going to help you understand how to join Indian Business Portal. Now, before we start understanding the journey, and which is very simple, and you have all the resources, all the tutorial material available, which you can easily leverage and understand the process. Let me give you some fundamental understanding. Right? So we'll very quickly go back to the presentation that we were seeing. So as I've depicted in the presentation, you are expected to create something called digital catalog, right? Sorry. So what is a digital catalog. Sorry, I have a bad throat, so please bear with me on that. So, what is a digital catalog? So, instead of like explaining it to you through a diagram or something, I'm going to show you live examples, and I think that you'll be able to understand in a better way. So, just give me quick seconds, and I'll firstly start with B2B examples. So this is an example of, and all the examples that I'm going to show you today, they are all exporters and also listed on Indian Business Portal. So this is a medical equipment or hospital supplies or hospital equipment manufacturer and exporters digital catalog that you're looking here, right? This is a digital catalog. Now, many of you will say it is a website. Why are you calling it a digital catalog? The difference between a website and a digital catalog is very thin, but there are some fundamental difference. So digital catalog is also a website, is also a type of website. A website which has three capabilities. The first one is it can showcase product or service information, right? So if you're a service provider, then it is showing the information about your service offering. If you are into products, it is showcasing your products, right? Which we can see it is doing. It can allow a potential customer who's interested to do business with you, they can either allow this website has that capability to receive inquiries or get orders, which if I can explain, this is where, sorry, this is where you can see send inquiry, right? So if there's a nursing home or a medical institution in a European country, and they are interested to buy these dresses from them, these surgical dresses. So they can send them an inquiry that this is what we are looking at, and then they can respond back with a quotation. So this is one type of digital catalog. There is another example which I can show to you. This is where if they're interested to buy the product. So just imagine there's a retail customer and they want to buy the product for their personal consumption. So this is that example. So they can either receive an inquiry or an order depending on your business model. So that's the second characteristic. The third one is it also showcases information about the business. So if we quickly go to About Us, that's where we should be able to see the information about the business, right? So there's where there's a lot of information about the business, and their certificates, their clients, etc. So there's a lot of information here which is available for any potential customer to understand about the business and about their background, etc., and to finally convince that doubt in themselves that it is a good business to a genuine business, a trustworthy business to do business with, right? So this is one example of digital catalog I thought of showing to you, and I hope the clarification or the categorization of a website into a digital catalog is also clear, right? So this is one example. There's another example on the same lines, and I've deliberately chosen products which denote or they exemplify that these are B2B, right? So this is where I'm going to open one of the product. So this is a ground roller, which is typically used by construction companies or stadium management agencies, etc. So this is where you can see how beautifully they have added the visuals. They have even added a video to help the buyers understand about the product. And this is where we have the technical information. There's a product brochure, which is also appended here. So if there's an international buyer who's interested to buy this product, they can send them an inquiry. Now, this is another example which I'm showing you. This is a business that is into industrial motors, and just looking at the example, you can make out there's a hardcore industrial product. So this is their digital catalog that we are looking at. Now, let's change the variety. So I'm going to show you another example. This is where they are also exporter. I'm not showing you a domestic business. They are also exporter, but they are selling to retail customers. So they instead of selling in bulk, they're selling to retail customers. So if you're a business model wherein you want to sell to international retail customers, you can very well do that as well. Now, what if you want to do both? What if you want to do both the things? So I'm going to just open any product randomly to help you understand that. So this where you can see that looks like the same thing we were seeing here. So this is a product where you have add to cart and buy now, and this is also a product, but the buttons are different. This is where you have send inquiry and add to cart. So this business wants to cater to the retail customers. So anyone who's wanting to buy the products for their personal consumption, they can very well come here and they can do an add to cart and they can place an order. At the same time, if there's a bulk buyer who wants to do business with them, who wants to buy for their business's requirement, they can come here and they can send them an inquiry, right? So both the things are happening with the same website. So you don't have to create two separate websites for separate audience. Everything happens on the same website, right? This is another example I wanted to, or another type of digital catalog. So just to help you understand this, one type which we saw, or let's take this example is one type where the business is just receiving inquiries. This is another type which we saw where the business is just receiving orders. This is the third type which we saw where they are receiving orders and inquiry, right? So these are the three broad type of digital catalogs. There is a third type of digital catalog which is also there, and I am going to bore you more for 1 or 2 minutes. But this is also important because it has a utilization in export as well, or this particular capability has a utilization in export. What is that? So on the face of it, if I share the link of this website, you will go through it and you'll say it is a typical online shopping website. What is different here? It looks like a online shopping websites where customers can come and they can see the product, then they can place an order. And you'll not be wrong in your understanding because it has a hidden or a camouflaged capability as well. What is that? So this is where you can see distributor or retailer login. Now there are thousands of distributors or retailers which are selling their products. So whenever they have to buy a replenishment, they can come here and they can do a secure login and they can place an order, right? So that is how this particular business is using this capability. Now the question comes, why am I sharing that information with you? Because it has a utilization in export as well. What is that? So many times when I'm interacting with the exporters, especially from certain businesses, they have this concern or they have this fear that if we are displaying our latest collection, our latest styles on the website, they'll get stolen, they'll get copied. So they don't want it to show to general public, only to the people they know, they trust. So in that case, what you can do is you can add the products to your digital catalog and then onboard your buyers and then just add the information or onboard the buyers and invite them to your website. They'll do a secure login and then they'll be able to see your latest collection. General public who's visiting your website will not be able to see. So this is the fourth type of digital catalog that you can create. And this where now we will switch the screen and we'll go to Indian Business Portal. So very quickly understand the process of creating the digital catalog and joining Indian Business Portal. So the first step is obviously to come here on Indian Business Portal and you'll see there's a big button here which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter. So once you click on it, it will bring you to this page. My internet is a little slow, so bear with me. So this is the page which will get opened up. On this page, you'll see there's a button which says create your catalog. Now, before you click on that, there's a suggestion I would want to share with you. What is that? That is whenever you have time. I'm not saying that when you're going through the journey, you should do that. Whenever you have time, just review this page. You'll find this page very, very informative. There's a lot of information which is available about the platform, the process as well. But the most useful section that you'll find is the FAQ section. Just go through the questions and a lot of questions which will be there in your mind. You'll find the answers here, right? Not necessary that you have to do it when you are creating your digital catalog and you're in the process of listing on Indian Business Portal. Not then, whenever you have time. So now coming back to the process, or let me repeat that because we have just distracted a little bit. So the first step is obviously to go to Indian Business Portal and click on register as Indian exporter, which will bring you to this page. On this page, click on create your catalog, this button, click on that, and it will open this page. On this page, before doing anything, click here, click on the video, and a video will open up. This is the video which will open up. Where is that video? Sorry, why does it keeps coming back? Right. So this is a video which will open up on your screen. I would request that watch this video. It will take about 20 odd minutes, so you can fast forward it if required. But if you watch this video, it will help you understand what all information is required at your end. So when you're going through this journey, you are better prepared, right? It's not like you're walking in the dark. You know what all information is required. So this is like, and I'm not sure how many of the participants are of my age, but when we used to fill in applications for like college admission or something, instead of like filling it directly, we used to copy the fields on a separate paper and then quickly do that. So it helps you prepare and it helps you avoid the mistakes. So in the similar fashion, if you watch this video, you'll be able to uh, be better prepared for going through this journey. Although it is a very simple and straightforward journey, but you'll be able to do that in a better way. Now, because this video is already available, in fact, there's a Hindi version which is also available. Where can you find the link? So if you open the description and scroll down below, this is where you'll find the link. I will also share the link of the Hindi video as well, right? So if you're not very comfortable with English, you can watch the Hindi version as well. So this is the video, and as the video is already available, so we are not going to waste your valuable time with that. So this is a very simple, straightforward process. You can go through the video and it will guide you firstly with respect to the requirement and how you have to create your digital catalog. So I'm just moving ahead to show you so you can go through the video and you can understand the entire process. If you have any questions or if you have any concern or if you're getting stuck at any given point of time, we will provide you contact details or help desk. I'll share with everyone. You can reach out to our help desk. In fact, you can reach out to me as well, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Now, this is one journey that you have to go through. Once you have gone through this journey, once you have created your Airtel catalog, then there are a few more steps that you have to do. What is that? Firstly, you have to upload the remaining product, which is obvious. You have to remember because in the store creation journey, which is explained in this video, you're just uploading one product, right? So the remaining, so if you have 10 products, so you want to upload it, the 9 of them you have to upload. So you can go to catalog and that's where you will upload the products. You can upload them manually, one product at a time, or you can upload them in bulk. So if you already have the product data available in Excel file, you can easily copy paste it in to the import format and you can upload them in bulk. Here is the import format. This is where you can upload one product at a time. So your convenience and your decision, how would you like to upload it? But if you have more than 10 products and you are uploading it one product at a time, that is a crime against yourself. I would say this is where you are deliberately wasting your own time. You shouldn't do that. If you have less than 10 products, you can consider using this method where you're uploading the first product, then the second product, then the third product. So if it is less than 10 product, you can do it this way. But if you have to upload more than 10 product, then use the bulk method. It is a lot quicker, a lot easier to do instead of spending your valuable time and energy there. All right, so that is related to the product upload. Once you have uploaded the product, then what is the next step? So then you have to click on store settings and then store details, which will open the store details interface. And that's where you'll see there's a tab which says about your export. As I mentioned, my internet is terribly slow today, and that's why it is taking so much time. So let's wait for a few more seconds and it will load up. So this is exactly the form which is used to provide the information for the about us section. So if while it is loading, I'll take you back to the profile which I was showing you. So this is where you can see there's a about us section. This section is or the information in this section is added from this form which I'm trying to show to you. So it is still not loaded. Let me try to do that once again. So in this form, you have to fill in the information and that information is displayed. In fact, the certificates, I was talking about the certificates, so those are also uploaded from this form. Let's reload the entire thing. Probably that may help. Here you can see about your export. So this is the form that you have to fill in. Again, it is a very simple and easy form. So you have to specify whether you're a FIU member or not, or your IC certificate. what is the legal entity type, your establishment, whether you're a merchant or manufacturer, whether you are MSME, export turnover, countries you have exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees. This is from where you can add certificates. Now, popularly, people ask me like, how many certificates can we upload? As many as you have. And then we have these two sections. Again, these are very useful sections because these allow you to give the reasons to international buyers to choose you, right? And lastly, you have to specify what type of proposals you are interested in and click on save, and the information gets updated. So this is the second step that you have to do after you have completed your digital catalog. Now, once you have done that, you can also consider this optional. If you want to do, you can do, and that is you can go to stores, my store, and you can change the design theme, you can upload the banner. So that is optional. If you want to do, you can do that. But the third step, and which is very, very crucial, and I don't want any one of you to miss this step. All right. Let's wait for the page to load up. Let's try to reload the entire thing once, and then I think that will help us. I am not sure what happened here. All right, so let's open the seller panel once again. I think there's some technical issue happening. So you have to navigate to the home section, and that's where there's a section to submit a request. You have to submit the request. So let me try to see if I can show you that there seems to be some issue with this particular account. This is, by the way, a demonstration account. So there seems to be some changes my colleagues are doing, and probably because of that, the interface is impacted. Anyway, you got the message, I believe, that submitting the request is most crucial, because that is an issue that we have noticed, that many of the importers or internet, many of the exporters, when they are creating their digital card, they'll do all the hard work, but they will not submit the request. And that's where they're not able to list on Indian Business Portal. So please don't do that mistake. This is where I'm going to turn off the screen share, and we will now break into the question answer round. So let's bring the windows on the front monitor, and we will start answering the questions. If you have already not added a question, please do that. In the meantime, I'm going to very quickly start or very quickly share my contact details, and I will also share the link of the tutorial videos. So just bear with me for a few seconds. And in the meantime, please do add your questions in the Q&A so that we can answer them. So there are a few pieces of content or pieces of information that I'm adding. So this is my contact details. And now I'm going to also share the help desk contact details. So that is the next thing that I've added in the chat. And then I am going to share with you the links of the tutorial videos. All right. So I've added all the three details. The first question, anonymous attendee, and Pratik, I will need your help with this question. Pratik, are you there? So the first question is from an anonymous attendee. Then they have a business in India and UK, and they're wanting to understand if they can get any help from Indian High Commission in UK and Europe for marketing their handloom products.
So here, I would say, Adnan, that they can definitely write to the commercial counselor of Indian Embassy in UK or any European country. So whatever the best help they can provide, they can definitely extend.
The next question is from Trust Leads, and they are merchant exporters, and they are seeking guidance for how to get buyers and how to document the necessary and the documents that are necessary to produce at the customs office. So
So
they are
Adnan, this is a very generic question. I would say if they can drop us an email detail with their products and all that, we will definitely help in that way.
perfect. So Trust Leads, if you're still with us, please drop an email to Mr. Pratik. He'll share his email ID in the chat, and he'll guide you. Next question is from Raman, Sudamani Raman. I want to understand if they give chance to new exporters, international buyers. Certainly they do. Next question is something which we have answered. That is how to join Indian Mills portal. Next question is from Mr. Gagandeep. Now, Mr. Gagandeep is having a difficulty in finding the right category. And this is where I'm not just responding to Mr. Gagandeep, I'm sharing this with everyone. If any one of you faces a difficulty in finding the right category, then all you have to do is you have to drop an email on the email ID, the help desk email ID, which I've shared. I'm going to share that once again. That just drop a email that this is the product category I deal in. Please help me with the right categories on Indian Business Portal, and they'll provide you that, right? So Gagandeep, just drop an email with your product categories on the help desk. You can mark a CC to me. I've also shared my email ID in the chat. I'll do that once again, and we'll guide you. Don't worry on that. So I'm also sharing my email ID once again in the chat with everyone. So this is not, as I mentioned, is not just for Gagandeep, this is for everyone. If any one of you faces any difficulty, not just related to category mapping, anything else, if you face difficulty in the store setup, your product upload, you're getting confused, or if there's any technical issue or something you're facing, please feel free to reach out to us. Next question from Rajat. Need guidance for merchant exporters in furniture, textile, testing certification, logistic export. So Pratik, they need the
So
guidance.
I would suggest if Mr. Rajat can drop us an email, because this procedure, we have to have a very detailed discussions about that. And there are some forest related regulations they have to fulfill in terms of importing country. So I would say if them, Mr. Rajat can drop us an email, we will definitely look into that. I'm sharing my email ID with Mr. Rajat.
Next question, Ivnish Gupta. His question is absolutely correct. His question is, if we don't have an experience, that will have a negative impression. So if you don't have that experience, then you can share about what is your capability or what is special that you're bringing on the table, right? So by sharing that information about what is the unique thing, what is the unique sourcing, or in terms of pricing, or even the social impact that you're trying to create, by sharing that kind of information, you can certainly provide that input and a reason for the international buyer to choose you. Next question from Mr. Rajat. Excel format for bulk uploading product. Yes, it is available. In fact, I'll see if time permitted, I will share a tutorial video around that as well. Next question, Sagar. Can I list my product in GI products? Yes, certainly you can do that. You have to also upload. So in the system, you have to upload your GI certificate. So if you have a GI certificate, then certainly you can. Next question from Nishant. So if you want to register or with the store creation journey, one is you can connect with our help desk, and if there is any problem, if there's any issue that you're facing at any step, our help desk will be able to guide you. Or if you want some professional agency to create the digital catalog for you, that is also possible. That is a paid service, but I would not encourage you to do that. I would suggest, because this is a fairly simple and straightforward process. So try it. And there are thousands of businesses who have done that, right? So you will be able to do it. But if you think that you need professional help, that option is also available. You can reach out to me. I've shared my email ID in the chat. I will guide you and connect with you, the concerned person. Next question is, can we create the digital catalog ourselves, or we need a team? Anyone can do that, right? Within a day also, you'll be able to create it if you have the information. The most amount of time, honestly, is taken in uploading the product. So if you have the product, the information, visuals ready, within hours, you'll be able to create. Forget about days, within hours, you'll be able to create. Next question is from Josephine. I've already registered, but I can't see my product on Indian Business Portal. So Josephine, drop us an email. You can write it to me, or you can write it to help desk, and we'll look into issue. But do add your company name and the link of your digital catalog, and we'll look into the issue. If there's something wrong, or if there's any shortcoming on your digital catalog, we'll guide you. Or if it is accidentally missed out, we'll get that resolved. Next question is of Faisal. He wants to understand, can we do SEO of this digital catalog? Yes, certainly you can do that. But as we have overshot our time, I'll not be able to explain to you or give you walkthrough of where are the places where you can do that. But certainly there are places. In fact, what I'll recommend, Faisal, reach out to our help desk, and they'll guide you from which all places you can do the SEO, that is meta update of the product, the navigation, the home page, content pages as well. So you can do that. Next question, Kaushik Patel. This is where Pratik, I'll need your help. He is registered member of FIO, and he is asking, is there any way to get for my contact details which are registered with FIO?
So if you are a member of FIO, I would urge you to contact your nearest FIO office, so they can raise your bias requirement with us, and we will basically try to find out some bias for you from our database, and we will share with you.
Wonderful. Next question is from Mr. Naveen, and he's having a difficulty or facing a difficulty in IC verification. So Naveen ji, as I mentioned earlier also, with respect to any technical issue that you're facing, please reach out to our help desk. You can also mark a CC to me. I've shared my email ID in the chat, and we'll get the issue looked into. Next question from Sunaina K. They are into services and how to list the services. So the interface or the method is the same. So similar to how a business that is dealing in product, they are uploading the products. Similar to that, you'll be able to upload your services. Next question is from Bhartiya B. Whether he wants to understand where do we have to register. So Indian Business Portal is from where you have to start the registration journey. Next question from Jayashri, where to get the form to connect with foreign buyers. So that is there on the home page of Indian Business Portal. Next question from Vikas. And he wants to understand, do we need an IT person to do this setup? Certainly not. Anyone. So someone who can operate a computer can do that very, very easily. Now, because I'm just very quickly going through your questions, in case I am not able to answer your question, please do reach out to me on my email ID, because we have to quickly close the session. Prateek has to step into another meeting. So that's why. So I'm just quickly going through the questions, just glancing through them. And if there's a question, a last question that we are going to take today, if there's a question that I can find which we can answer quickly, we'll do that. Otherwise, please do reach out to us on the email ID. There's one interesting question that I can see. The person has asked that do we need a domain, or the digital catalog will suffice? That is your choice. If you want to take it live on your own domain, you can do that. If you want to continue on Linker.store, you can also do that. That is your choice. Perfect. So that is the last question that we have taken. There are a few questions we were not able to answer. Apology for that. But please do drop me an email and I'll answer all your questions. I'm going to share my email ID once again in the chat. So please do reach out to me. And as I mentioned, for any technical issue that you're facing, please do reach out to our help desk and we'll get all your questions or concerns resolved. So this where we will conclude this session for today. Thank you everyone for taking out your valuable time and participating in this session. We'll conclude the session or the webinar for today. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.